Hello and welcome back to the Creative Amplifiers. My name is Mark.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Neil.
Welcome everybody to the show, and a big thumbs up to everyone who's here already. We will have Matt Haas in the house very, very soon. And Matt, I'm sure you all know, but did some of these when we were at Creator Camp and gave them one out. It was amazing, such a great thing, and really, really appreciate all the time and effort that must have gone into that. We can chat to him a little bit about that a little bit later on, but we have some amazing people in the house already. Hi, George. I hope that internet's working well for the quiz a little bit later on. Hello, Ender Trading. Thank you for being here. Marcus, thank you for being here. Are we allowed to talk a little bit about us going professional with Marcus, Neil? Tell us a bit about that.
We are. So Marcus is now not just Marcus, he is moderator Marcus. We have the spanner in the works. Marcus is our moderator. Thank you, Marcus, for moderating the channel, keeping it clean and keeping it real. That's his job, and thank you so much for joining us today, Marcus.
Exactly.
Appreciate you doing that, because I know you do a lot of moderating for other people.
He was the original Creative Amplifier with us in Creator Camp 1 and is an honorary member and always welcome on the show, and we're really, really grateful that he was being here. So, yes, looking forward to all of his help and support and running the show when we've decided to take a few weeks off, but I'm not sure we've told him about that yet, but that I'm sure will come there through. So, yeah, welcome to everybody. Jaden. Thank you. Very nice to see everybody here. So what do we have to share about our week or our last couple of weeks so far? Bit of Thanksgiving coming up this week, Lisa. So you got big plans?
Yeah, I got a pie to bake. I got an apple pie to bake and mashed potatoes, and that's it. I'm going to a friend's house, so it's an easy Thanksgiving.
Nice for you. Neil, you've got a kind of a proxy Thanksgiving, I would imagine.
Proxy Thanksgiving, yeah. So I'm going to be cooking a turkey, slow roast turkey, and my wife is going to be doing all the sides and things like that. So yeah, it's just going to be the two of us, but we'll probably get on FaceTime and talk to the family in Florida and places like that. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Bit of downtime.
Very good. And I've just been cooking because I like cooking and eating. No Thanksgiving celebrations necessarily are in, just the chance to have that's not strictly true. It was the essence of Thanksgiving was there. My wife, who often works on a Sunday, was actually off last weekend, so we kind of did the whole traditional English roast dinner. All the trimmings, all the works, lots and lots of food above and beyond what we probably needed, but it was wonderful. So it's this same thing. It was nice to share that family time while we had the opportunity. So yes, all those of you across the pond from us, or from me and Neil, certainly have a great time this week coming up. Hope you share it with everybody and have a wonderful experience. So yes, indeed. I just say, ask any questions. Yes, keep it clean, but you know, Matt's open to your questions and any sort of interesting things you might want to learn. He's going to share some insights as well as we go through. So yeah, can't wait to be able to do that. Matt, are you ready? I think it's time we brought you on to give you the opportunity to share all things Matt Haas.
Two thumbs up.
Hooray! Yeah, thank you.
Hooray.
Oh, brilliant stuff.
If one is good, two is better.
Exactly.
Hi, Creative Amplifiers team. Hi, Creative Amplifiers audience.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt. I really appreciate it. Tell us, first of all, what's been going on recently in your life? I know you've been sort of experimenting with the online world and have a couple of little projects on the go. If you're happy to share those sorts of things with us.
Oh, yes. I love sharing what's going on. I'm always trying something different, and I'm getting into Amazon product reviews just as a side thing. It will not impact any trajectory of my YouTube empire that's growing slowly. But I am starting that. I'm doing some crafts for Christmas. I'm also a maker. I make small wood crafts and other types of crafts. And I am bouncing around the internet. There's lots of things going on. I have a 10-year on YouTube celebration coming up on Wednesday. And I am going to do an evening show, which I call the Festivus show, where I bring on random people in the audience who have a camera and a mic, and we can complain about technology in the airing of grievances. Vlogmas is around the corner. I will switch from 5 days a week streaming on my Good Morning Haas morning show to 7 days a week in December. So gearing up for that as well.
Going to be full on. Lisa, I think you were chatting, or we were chatting before, about this whole thing about being so many places over the internet with so many ideas. Take us into what your thoughts were for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to get to your 10 years celebration, because you have things you're going to show us later on. I am so curious, and I'm sure people in the audience are curious. You have multiple YouTube channels, and that's a bit of a discussion in this world of content creation. There we go. Look at that. Do it again. That was
You want it up there? There you go.
Yeah,
Boom.
one more time. There we go. Yeah, get it up there. But how do you, number one, how did you decide? Because obviously you're multi-passionate. We call people like you multi-passionate creators. How did you decide that you needed to divvy it up and have the various channels? And how difficult is that? Because people go back and forth of, well, my audience is going to get confused. Well, it's going to be too much work. So I would love to know your special secret, because it's a point of contention for some, and others are curious.
That's a great double question, Lisa. I love answering this. I'll answer in reverse order. Do I recommend it? I do not recommend having multiple YouTube channels. It is a lot. When you have multiple YouTube channels, no matter how productive you are, no matter how much energy you're able to put into multiple YouTube channels, just know you're fragmenting your energy across those channels. So your channels will grow slower than if you could funnel your energy into one. So no one has been able to solve for that. That is an unsolvable problem in the universe. So for most use cases, I don't recommend it. If you are going to do multiple YouTube channels, I have some exclusive tips just for people attempting to do that, but maybe that's for another time. How did I get into it? It started with the woodworking channel, Awesome Wood Things. And this channel blew up very quickly in 2014 when I started it. I did 14 shows where I just took other people's YouTube videos and highlighted them and said what I liked about them. It was like I called it woodworking top videos, and people loved it. I only did 14 of them, but people to this day, a decade later, say, "Are you still doing that top video show?" I'm like, "No, I did it 14 times." But anyway, the point is, it grew. And then I started thinking, well, I know the YouTube platform. I'm going to launch this channel. This channel's not being published anymore. I'm not publishing any new stuff. It's hard to read that. It says All Things YouTube. I had a channel called All Things YouTube, and I put 60 videos about all things YouTube on my woodworking channel. And here's what I discovered. About 5 to 10% of the people loved both content. They were all in on Matt Haas. Whatever Matt Haas talked about or showed, they loved it. 90% of the people only wanted one or the other, and it was hurting my channel. So I spun off All Things YouTube into its own channel. And then I wanted a vlog channel, so I started this one. And then in 2019, I decided to play the piano, and I started that one. That's kind of how it happened.
So I have to go back, because you kind of slipped this in. You said you have so many tips. But that's for another show. You got to give me one tip. Come on. It's the holidays.
Okay. It's a graphic design tip. What I would recommend for people who have multiple channels, have some design elements on your thumbnails or brand on particularly on your thumbnails, have some sort of element be the same across all channels. It could be the background color. So my wood channel has the same green. Awesome Fun Things has the same green. Piano Awesome has the same green. So if you see that specific color, you know it's a Matt Haas channel. But people that are only on piano, they don't know about my other stuff. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't overlap. Or the font, use the same font across all three. That's one way to tie your stuff together across multiple channels. So that's one thing I kind of picked up. Because
thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Again, it's a hard life having multiple YouTube channels, and just know you're going to be in for a slow burn when you divide your time. Even if you're a high performer, you could focus all of your high performance on one. Or better. That's what I got to say about them apples. Did that even make sense? I don't even think that makes sense.
It made a lot of sense. Thank you.
And I'm curious, how much time, let's take an average week, if there is an average week, how much time are you spending making this content or prepping for your live shows and that kind of thing?
3 hours for my 15-minute live show. It takes me per day, 3 hours. So that's prep beforehand, and then all the marketing things I'm doing afterwards, and then the 15 or 20 minutes itself that I'm actually on the show. And then if I do a piano video, or if I'm making something in the shop or making an ornament or something like that, that's just, I have no idea what that would take. It's basically, I have a full-time job, and after the day job, I'm making content until I fall asleep, or I'm doing something that's going to lead to making content online. It's kind of how I roll. It's not for everyone. I'm an empty nester. My son's been out of the house for 5-6 years.
And so is it sort of like, say, it's sort of energizing, sort of outside of your sort of 9 to 5, so to speak, because obviously that kind of energy that comes across in everything that you do, I can imagine it's supportive for the rest of your life as well.
Speaking of energy, and this was what surprised me. I came to this realization not too long ago. The more I do the morning show, the more I love it. It is getting more fun as time rolls on. You'd think after I did my 820th episode this morning, you'd think after 820 times, no, it is a lot of fun. So I'm having a blast.
And
I was going to ask you a quick...
I'm sorry,
go
Neil.
ahead.
I was just going to say, just sort of following up on that one, just before Neil takes over there. Is it the same people that are coming to your show every day? Do you sort of have a regular core people and then people dipping in and out? I'm just, we only do our show sort of every fortnight, and we have sort of some loyal people who love coming along and taking part. But having one every day, I'm sort of curious as to how that bit of audience engagement works.
I have a core group that watches every show. And then there's a larger group that'll watch 1 or 2 shows out of the week. And then you get the random passerby that will show up as well. So, it's not a huge audience, but I am monetized on the channel at the 500 sub level, and probably shortly after the new year, I'll be fully monetized on the channel. I have my 4,000 watch hours already met. It's just I need 140 more subs or something like that to get to 1,000 on the vlog channel, the Awesome Fun Things. This is already fully monetized. This and this has a lot of subs, but hardly any watch hours, so that one don't count.
Sorry,
for that
I interrupted you before.
It counts. It counts because I enjoy it and people like it.
So many questions. I don't know where to begin. I guess my first question is...
I'll answer quicker.
No problem. Take your time. So being somebody that has so many channels and has to plan, how do you structure and how do you organize your planning for all these channels?
Easy.
And what's your workflow?
Okay. I'm a creative and a high functioning person. So the morning show is just what I did the day before. Or if it's the Monday show, it's what I did the weekend before. So that show just takes some thought in the beginning to do my topics I want to talk about or items I want to show. And that sort of kind of handles itself. For the woodworking, I will just get jazzed about something and then go make it and film myself while I'm making it. And then when I'm done, I'll cobble together a video of it and publish the video. Although lately I've just been doing live streams, I'm doing live streams and just showing the product and then talking about the design process behind it. But I still do make edited videos. That's where the lion's share of the watch time comes from, is the video on demand, the edited videos that go up there. So the woodworking, I just get jazzed about something that I want to make. Usually it's something with geek culture, pop culture, 80s, coin op video games, something I'll just get like psyched about something I want to make and I'll go make it. I recently got a laser engraver and I've just been loving that tool. I also have CNC machines and a full wood shop with every piece of traditional woodworking equipment you can imagine. Yeah, so that's just it. And then with the piano, I usually pick an 80s song, usually a rock and roll song, if possible, a 80s hair band song. And then I'll just learn that because I think they sound great on the piano because it's so different. Like you don't think of an 80s hair band song being played on the piano, but they're out there and I think that's fun.
You mentioned as well about, speaking of your piano channel, you mentioned that the people that come to watch you on the piano channel don't know anything about your other channels. Now, is that intentional in terms of you're not cross-posting, you're not cross-advertising those channels between each other? Your intention was to keep them separate because you didn't want the brand to be diluted, or what was the reason for not drawing people from one channel to another to share the love across all your branded projects?
My intention was just to make the Piano Awesome channel a place where someone could watch my skills grow over time. And I just wanted to share my stuff. So I just wanted to share it and put it out there. I kind of was under the impression, although I've never tested it, that people who want to watch someone learning to play the piano or do a performance of the piano from someone who's just learning, I should say, they might not be interested in, my creative efforts in Adobe Illustrator or what I've done in the wood shop. It's a different world. Running around in these circles, you get to kind of feel out what the general audience is. And it just seems so different than woodworking or a vlog channel. I just didn't think they'd cross over. So I never tried. I never intended for this to be a money-making effort. It's just something I just wanted to share. I just really wanted to just put it out there from my own reference so I can go back and look at how I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and just kind of see how far I've come. And yeah, it's about the best I can answer that. And I don't really do much cross promoting between Awesome Wood Things and Awesome Fun Things. Although there is some. I do some cross promotion. But remember, I started All Things YouTube because I was tanking my woodworking channel because people were like, I don't care about YouTube. I'm a woodworker. Like, what are you doing a show about YouTube for on a woodworking channel? And my stats were dropping. So I'm sensitive about that.
I guess back to Lisa's point where she mentioned about having, the pros and cons of having multiple channels. But if you are intentional about a particular thing that you want to share, then realistically having all of that under one umbrella in your case wouldn't have worked. Because one, it would probably be, as you mentioned, diluting some of your audience. Like they've come to this channel, they're like expecting one thing and now they're seeing multiple things. And does it make, because I guess with people, they don't want to have to think too much about what they want to look at. and whether, in your case, it's easier for them to go, well, if I'm going to Awesome Wood Things, I know it's all about woodworking, creativity, and making. And if I go to the piano channel, it's just specifically about you learning the piano. What would you say to people who want to, as we talked about, who want to actually sort of expand into other areas that are sort of on the same theme, but not necessarily specifically related to that interest? Would you recommend that they have, as Lisa's pointed out before, like treating your YouTube channel as a magazine where you have different playlists, and those playlists are specific around different topics? Or, I mean, what would you do anything different today is what I'm saying? Instead of having these separate channels, would you still maintain the separation and not have everything under one umbrella?
My sense is I think I've traveled the right path, and what you've just described, I characterize it this way. I agree 100%, but I kind of say it in a different way, where winning YouTube is about fulfilling expectations. Everyone that's a content creator on YouTube is projecting what the viewer will expect. Whether they think they're projecting that or not, you are. And it's when people go to get your stuff, if it's not what they think it is, they're out of there. So when you say, I have two similar topics, should they go under the same YouTube channel or not? You have to ask yourself, how similar are they? And there's no hard and fast rule. And a lot of it's a gut feeling, and a lot of it you might have to pivot on. But one thing would be woodworking and then crafting. Like, those are similar topics. You're making something with your hand, that the medium's changing. You might be using vinyl stickers and paper versus all wood for woodworking. That would work, I think, as under one channel on two different playlists, because there's some sort of connection between the two topics. Piano and woodworking, that's too much of a separation, I think, in my opinion. So you just have to kind of go through that thought experiment. There will be no answer pamphlet, but just ask yourself the question and try and come up with what you perceive the audience liking. Would someone that wants my woodworking content also be interested in me also working with my hands, but with a different medium, paper? Probably yes. That's probably safe. That's the way I can answer it. It's just hard. Content creation is hard, and there are no hard and fast answers for some questions. And I think that's where we are with that issue.
And I think from my sort of thinking and my sort of personality is that we kind of get very sort of focused on ourselves, and we think it's all linked because it's all part of us. But of course, the majority of people that they're going to find you are looking for a certain particular subject or a certain topic or something that they've been searching for. So they're not finding you as in the person that they're interested in following to begin with. It's the actual subject matter. So that does make sense that if they're too far removed, then it's going to be not that easy to do the cross promotion. Very different than when you have a celebrity that suddenly starts up their own thing and it's all about them and the various different things that they're doing. But we'll find the same sort of thing in podcasting as well.
This channel technically is, I hate to even say the sentence because I'm not this, so take this with a grain of salt. This channel is the celebrity concept, where people will watch this channel if they want Matt Haas. I'm not a celebrity. I'm nowhere near that. But that awesome fun things is YouTube on hard mode. This is YouTube on easy mode because the expectations are clear. This expectation is you come to this channel when you want my opinions on everything. You just want the Matt Haas thoughts, and that's hard. That is hard. That's why a magazine channel of many topics, equally hard. Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you, and I'm going to go back to that. If it's a magazine channel that your audience is it's dialed down such a specific group that those few topics you have are the things that they like and enjoy. That's to me how the magazine concept comes in. Because your audience, it's narrowed down. They want a little flavor of this and this and this, but they all work together. And that's very difficult to find that magic, concoction.
Yeah.
But I've seen it done. Like there's plenty of I am thinking of different channels that have done that, and they're not celebrities or whatever, but they just have figured out this is my audience, this is what they enjoy, and they're going to sit and watch a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's hard, but it's doable.
100%, Lisa. There's always successful edge cases. There's YouTube channels blowing up. They'll publish 1 3-minute edited video a month, 10,000 subscribers, and then there's some that only live stream, blowing up. Some that only do shorts, blowing up. Some that do one topic, blow up. Some that do a variety channel. There's edge cases everywhere. The easiest path forward is if you do all content types, shorts, lives, and video on demand on a niche topic. That's the fastest way to grow on average. Again, edge cases galore of successful people doing their own thing, but that's what I found to be.
So with that 10 years experience, take us into some of your insights, your thoughts, and I know some of the things that you want to share with us today.
Well, I've done a lot of things wrong. A lot of things wrong. So let me talk about some statistics and some of my successes and failures over the years. Let me push a few buttons here. Okay, here we go. So these are my YouTube channels, and you see a bunch of them on the left, but you only 4 survived at the present day. So this is 2024, the 10th year, and way back here on 2014, the first year, I just had awesome wood things, and I was monetized within 2 years. Not even 2 years, fully monetized. It was a different space back then, the YouTubes. We only had the subscribe button. There was no bell. There was no other things. And then I said, hey, I'm a Adobe Illustrator expert. I'll have that channel. So I started that. And I actually put some Learn Adobe Now content on my woodworking channel. Same mistake. But I decided to get out of that totally. Whoops. Went to the gear. Awesome Fun Things was like, I was like, oh, Casey Neistat's cool. I'll do that. So that's what Awesome Fun Things was. And I'm like, I'm getting good at this YouTube thing. So I started the YouTube, All Things YouTube channel. That lasted 3.5 years. And then I stopped posting to that. And I decided to learn the piano 3 months before my 50th birthday. And I've been doing that ever since. So, and then look at this. Awesome Fun Things took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 5 years to get halfway monetized. So back in 2014, it was easy. It took 2 years to get fully monetized, and it took 5.5 years to get the 500 monetized. So that's what that was. These are the shows I've hosted. So you're doing the Creative Amplifier show. Well, all of these shows are shows that I have done. The oldest one's on the bottom, and then my newest is on the top. Good Morning Haas. That's my morning show, 8:15 a.m. Eastern on Awesome Fun Things, Monday through Friday. Although in December, it's 7 days a week. This is when I was a co-host or a guest on other people's show. So I will roll up this to 11 because I was on your show one time, but I've been on Ecamm 6 times, and a couple of these might be familiar with everyone. Live Streaming Pros, a couple times, things like that. The top one, VF Talks, that guy put up with me the most. That's a regular on my show. John Venturini owns the VF Talks thing. He's now my executive producer. But this is the content types. This is all the content I've published over 10 years. And it breaks down to 2,167 pieces of content, which is 0.6 pieces of content per day for a decade. What I've been doing. I think that's, and look, see, some channels, like this is the Hall of Shame here, because you know, I did one video, but it still needs to be counted. And, you know, some things, I don't do any shorts or live streams. Although for some reason I did do one over there. And so it's just fun looking at that. Watch hours. These are approximate. YouTube doesn't give you accurate watch hours over a decade, but all in, I am 69,000 and change watch hours of all the content across all my channel. This I think is fun. This is the gear that I've had. See, it took me 2 years to figure out audio. So I used this Heil PR40, this Heil PR40 microphone. But I was using this stupid K2U XLR interface. It had like no adjustments. Even though I had a nice mic and it improved things, it still wasn't good. And look, I started streaming. My head is hanging in shame. I was streaming from the laptop camera. It was awful. And I did that for a couple years until I got the super cheap C920 webcam. And then I figured out I could throw a USB into my 2011 bought Canon DSLR. So it's not even a mirrorless. It was a DSLR camera. And I got a good 1080 USB export out of that. And then I'm like, you know what? I gotta get this better. And now I have a nice Sony camera with a real capture card. And I've been doing that since the summer of 2020 on forward. And I got the Rodecaster Pro too, which I freaking love. So that's kind of a look at the gear that I've had. If you want to see how this has changed over the years, I have some photos of that. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, please do.
Talk amongst
I was
yourselves.
interested to see how people's quality changes over time.
Oh, yeah, People are like, Matt, I love your background. Yeah, well, it took 10 years to get there because this is the first live stream in January 2017. You can see the walls. Like, there's no LED lights. So that's the first one. And then I put LED strips behind me and have a television. That came later. This was on OBS, God forbid. I don't even think Ecamm was a thing back then. And now I have some like a red light under the TV and a light blue. See how faint it is? There's like a blue light behind that wall of
you can see
bubbles.
I like the chain lights framing your head.
Yeah,
that's a nice touch.
Thank you. And then I'm like, I got to make that brighter. So rather than get a better camera, I just darkened the room.
Yeah, just turn the lights off.
And then for some ungodly reason, I had a mustache. Actually, I had surgery on my lip. I was trying to hide the scar. So for a month and a half, I had a mustache, but that's a mistake I will never do again. And here I think I'm on my DSLR with a USB connection. I tried to get that a little better. And now these are the exterior flood lamps, the green and the purple and the red behind the xenomorph. And then things kind of stay the same. There's my black piano under my arm. That was my first piano. And then that's my nice, expensive, cost as much as a car stage piano that I have now, the red one. Notice the sign above my hand there, the little make vids people watch right here. So that was calling out to all things YouTube. And then I switched it to woodworking because I wasn't posting to there anymore. And then it was woodworking forever. And I added more tchotchkes. Like, look at, there's hardly anyone up there with Skeletor on my little monitor there. And now he's got some friends. And then I switched it to awesome fun. Finally switched it to awesome fun things. And this is kind of a current day type of thing. So yeah, this was the first, going back in time. Like humble beginnings, don't you think?
I think it's cool that you've got that
Yeah,
though, to go back and remind you
Yeah.
of how far you've come over the time.
I also think this is an example for people to know it, start where you're going to start, use what you
Yeah.
have, and then you're going to have these different iterations and decide, I want a better camera. I want more, a different type of lighting. So you're a beautiful example of that just start, and you'll get to where you need to be.
Look at this beast. This was
A Canon
2011.
that.
My Awesome Wood Things channel was fully monetized with nothing but this camera, nothing but
Yeah.
the camera and the audio off of my laptop. The door fell off here. The rubber I had to cement back on. The flash thing is spilled, soda spilled in it. It doesn't pop anymore. Like this thing is barely alive, but the visuals. Oh, the mic never worked. The mic input was jacked from day one, but it never stopped working. And this is a 1080p DSLR camera. I got epoxy on the record button, so I'm like, well, I can't use it. So I took a drill and I drilled out the plastic button and realized there was a metal push button at the bottom. So when I want to record, I have to take a toothpick and press that button that's reset. And
I love getting scrappy. That's what you do.
it's a tank.
But Matt, it's also, again, people are coming for the content and they're coming for the person giving the content. So even if you're using a toothpick to make it work, you're there and you're making it work. Yay, I got a thumbs up. Yay.
Yeah, I've always focused content first.
Yeah.
What am I delivering? That's what people want. And then I just try and make something 1% better each time. And it could be something on my set. It could be some audio. It could be an overlay. It could be a new segment in my live show. But I try and improve something. Doesn't have to be a big improvement. Just try to improve something each time.
So I'm interested in your skilling up journey. So you talked about being on OBS. You're obviously part of the Ecamm Fam now. You've been on Live Streaming Pros. How did that sort of figuring it out on your own kind of progress over the years? And how did you sort of come across all those people that must have helped you as you've progressed and got better?
Advice from people and complaining about different things, because with OBS, I could put the chat scroll on screen where you could see everyone's comments, but I wanted to highlight a single comment. You literally couldn't do it. Not even with a third-party plugin could you do it. And here comes Sammy Superstar. Well, they got this thing called Ecamm Live. I'm like, can it do a single yeah, Matt, that'll work. I did it, and I was hooked ever since. The learning comes about because I see something I want to try and I don't know how to do it. And I Google how to do it, or I stick with my experts. And I sort of have like a trifecta of experts that have helped me kind of get to where I am. And oddly enough, for computer purchases, like if I have questions about computer, and I know a lot about computer hardware, but still I have I ask Sammy Superstar hardware questions, and people don't think he doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. And then I got a guy that helped me with the low voltage stuff, like running cables to the bedroom over there for a second office, long run video, like video gadgets. I have Stuart Rivera. He does camera installation, so I got him. And then the people at Ecamm for some of the tech, Doc Rock and others, and Anna and Fulgens for how to use Ecamm, because you think you know everything about Ecamm and you watch their show, you're like, oh, I didn't know that shortcut existed. I didn't know this. So it's kind of like I have a core set of people I'll go to if I have questions, and I just figure it out. College taught me graphic design. So I was hitting the ground running with the Adobe suite of tools, and I taught classes on how to use Illustrator, Photoshop, and Quark Express, if you remember that back in the day. And then I was like, okay, now I want to do video. And my friend Sterling said, we're doing a palette challenge and there's a prize, enter it, but you got to make a YouTube video. I'm like, I've never made a YouTube video. So I made a Christmas ornament and I put it on YouTube. And so this guy named Sterling Davis, he lives in Georgia. He's responsible for getting me on YouTube. And then Sammy's responsible for getting me on Ecamm Live. And I've always had a curiosity of how certain applications on the computer work or services work. And I built the whole YouTube channel because I learned every button, every strategy, everything there was about the YouTube platform, and I did that. But that's not it. There's another platform called Smartsheet. It's a business thing. I'm fully certified on that. Ecamm, I'm like, this is a great program. I tore that apart top to bottom, every preference screen, every shortcut. I just certain things. I'm like, I want to know everything there is to know about it. Same thing with Adobe Illustrator. I know everything there is to know about Adobe Illustrator. It's insane. I'm a Adobe certified expert in Illustrator, and they don't give that to anyone. Like you gotta make Illustrator do things that you don't even do to get that level. So I'm a lifetime learner. I'm always learning. And so as I mastered the 2D space, I wanted to master web development. So I learned databases and web development and went all in on that. And then I'm like, okay, I want to do video now. So in 2013, 2014, I started doing video. So I learned with iMovie, and then I couldn't do something in iMovie, and I had upgraded to Final Cut Pro, which is like iMovie Plus. And so I did that, and I'm like, well, what's next? I'm like, music. Audio's the next creative outlet. So I'm like, I never learned how to read sheet music or play an instrument. Why don't I do that? And then I learned there's a whole thing called audio production in like a music environment. And that is a fresh hell that I don't wish upon anyone, because it is so difficult to do music production, because I've done it. The piano videos are the most technically sophisticated videos I have ever made. I've got 4 high-res camera shots. I have the audio captured as the keystroke file, the MIDI, and then I have to treat the music, and I have an on-screen keyboard that I got to do some tricks to. And then I edit it all. I have to line everything up because it's just, so for those a minute and a half video for my piano takes hours. And I would usually do the performance 15, 16, 20, 25 times until I nailed the performance enough that I wanted to actually publish it. So yeah, that, and I just learning, I just learn. I'm always learning, and I get inspired. I watch a lot of YouTube. Like I watch a ton of YouTube across all kinds of channels. Like you've learned about vlogging, woodworking, and piano from me, but oh no. My interests go wide and deep. Even crazy things you probably wouldn't even think I'm interested in, like industrial farming. Yeah, I'll watch that. Physics channels, science channels, space channels. My cousin was almost on the space shuttle when they were running, back in the 80s and 90s. And so I'm connected in that world. Lawn care. My lawn is spectacular. I figured out how to do that. I have videos on how to I find a topic and I just go all in. Now, not every topic, most topics I'm just a casual passerby, but some things, man, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, oh, that's how it works. Because that's how it started on woodworking. I was just screwing wood together. I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. And I'm like, oh, there's this thing called joinery. You can do different joinery methods to put wood together this way, or or to join it that way. And then it's just a rabbit hole you fall into. And some things resonate with me, and I just go crazy with it. I love learning. I love learning. I'm not a complacent person. I don't sit on the recliner and veg out. That to me is not entertaining. Learning something.
Are we expected to see awesome lawn things next? Is that your next channel then? So
lawn channels are very lucrative. Like there you go. That goes, and watches too. I love watches, and I have some watch content out there, and it's a whole community stuff. Yeah. It is crazy. Finance. You want YouTube on easy mode, you get the highest CPM on a finance. I was going to do a channel just finance tips and savings tips and bargains and something around that. And I just didn't do it because I'm like, I can't launch another channel. I'm not going to do it, even though the ad revenue would be lovely because they pay the highest in that space. But I'm like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
but all joking aside about your next channel, what is there anything next that's coming up for Matt Haas and his journey in terms of
I'm
video?
putting all of my shoppable videos on a new channel, so I do.
Is this an exclusive?
This is gonna have to say 4, but believe me, that is not an entertaining channel. It's just gonna be, this is the video I made on the Amazon review product, and it's gonna have a hyperlink where you can go buy the product, and it'll be an affiliate link and stuff. That's all it's gonna be. That channel is called Wizard of Haas, Haas, Wizard of Haas. So it's out there. If you go to matthaas.com, Wizard of Haas is clickable out there, and you can see the three videos I posted on Wizard of Haas. Humble beginnings. It always starts with 1, and now I've got 3. So.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
And then go ahead. What are the products? Are they? What are they that you're going to be reviewing?
It's anything I can put on a desk and talk about. That's sort of my criteria. I did a frying pan, a cast iron skillet. I did non-slip rubber adhesive casters for the bottoms of table legs. I did Christmas lights, like these 6 lamps with stakes you put on your walkway, and it kind of puts a nice pattern on your walkway leading up to your front door. And I did something else. I did 4 videos so far. That's what I'm going for.
Are you pulling anything from what you like, the woodworking, any equipment from that, or sort of kind of?
Yeah, my plan is to go back off of my Amazon purchase list and just make videos for everything I've done. But I am working with brands directly, and I did get a $80, that lamp set was $80, and it was like, yeah, here, you can have it. Just give us a video that's a minute or longer. I'm like, where do I sign? So I got
off
that.
To the races.
So there is this Wizard of Haas thing. I'm not going to push it. It's not an entertainment product, but I think if people are looking for something, I'll catch them by the keyword. They'll watch my video, and if they want to buy it, they'll click my link, and I'll catch some affiliate revenue from it. So.
Great stuff. We've got a question from George, and he's got, do you do anything? I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but
marquetry or intarsia? Yes.
There you go.
Yes, I've done a few of those types of pieces. If you go back on Awesome, well, not much, but if you go back on Awesome Wood Things, I've got something. Oh, and well, actually, let me show you something. I'm going to move off the frame here. This is a work in progress. Let me know what you think of it. Crazy.
It's amazing. He's got just incredible things going on. It's
so
just
much stuff.
Okay,
amazing.
this.
I know.
What I'm about to show you has no paint and no stain on it. It's just the natural color of the wood, and it's burned to have a gradation in it. So this would be considered marquetry.
Oh,
wow.
I'm working on this. So this is my evil monkey, and so this is white maple. This is bubinga, and
that's cool.
that is something else. I think the tongue is bobinga, and this is mahogany. The skin is mahogany, and so I'm working on an evil monkey portrait, and that's technically many different pieces of wood close together. That's marquetry. So that's there's rings.
Amazing.
I was going to ask you what it was, but no, you've shown us. So thank you for that.
And George, let us know if it's something that you do. It's obviously something you're aware of or certainly interested in.
Yeah, everything in this office I've made. I've made, the Pac-Man art, the Reese's logo. I painted the Pac-Man there. That subscribe, I don't know if you can see that that's a bell. The bell is a mechanical bell, and it rocks back and forth because I had a spinner, and I converted rotational motion to side motion. So there's like a whole engineering thing on the back of that sign. I can turn that on, and the bell goes left, and then pauses, and then right, and then anyway.
Amazing.
I just want to see if I could pull that off. Yeah. This is it's a frame I made for a name tag when I went to Google for a meeting. That's right. Google wanted to meet with me, so I went on site to do business at Google, and I framed the name tag they gave me, the YouTube logo I made, everything, pretty much everything you see in the office I've made. It's fun. I love making stuff.
That's incredible. I don't know about you, Lisa and Neil, but I feel a little bit like an underachiever at this stage of the evening.
I think so. Yeah, pretty much.
Like I'm not doing enough.
No,
exactly. George asked about 3D printing and why I don't have a 3D printer. I can answer that if I can. 3D printing is an additive art form where it starts with nothing and it builds what you want. So you add material. This type of stuff, can't see it. This type of stuff is subtractive. You start with a big piece of wood and you make it smaller. Everything I've done is a subtractive art form, at least physical in with my hands, and I've never made the tradition to additive yet. So just haven't got there yet.
Marcus, I'm not sure.
Is that in the future?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it is. They're so cheap now. For $200, you can have a printer. And for $300, you can get the materials and some accessories. It's low dollar amount that you can get into that space. You need to have 3D modeling software chops, and like
a Rhino or something like that.
Yeah, I have line art ability. So line art translates to lasers and CNC carving machines perfectly. I have to learn a new way to make art in 3D space, and I'm good at it. I'm just not like really good at it, so I've been hesitant to
spend a bit more time doing that. That's fine. You must have loads of time to be able to fit that in.
And I do build stuff up. I mean, look at this. In your hands. So like here, I made this. I wanted the stream decks closer to the camera. This is my teleprompter. You can't tell that there's a camera in there, but there's a camera there. So I made this out of wood, and so I could have made this out of a 3D printer, but I just used wood, and it's angled so my boom arm can not crash into it. So I'll make little accessories for the office here if it's not on camera. See, this is my joke. If it's on camera, it's beautiful and deliberately placed. If it's off camera, it's made out of wood that's slapped together with glue and screws. Because I'm cheap. I'm
all the
frugal.
secrets are coming out.
Yeah, exactly. So one final question for Marcus, and I don't know how serious this was, but it said, could you build a piano on the woodworking channel? And I guess that kind of rounds up everything that you do, that you need.
Strings and all. There you go.
You would need to have the cast iron frame that you would put the strings on, because those are a wonderful piece of engineering that can withstand a lot of pressure. A piano wants to implode because the strings are pulled so tight. So no, I could not build the cage to house the strings, but I probably could give a go at cobbling one together. It wouldn't look nice, but I could probably do it.
Amazing. That would be fun. Well, there you are. There's a whole nother project for you. So, Matt, thank you so much for sharing all of this. It's been amazing to enter your world full on, 100%, both in terms of the channel, and I appreciate you sort of sharing your stats and your behind the scenes and your story and all of that, because I think it's so interesting for all of us who maybe only have one channel or have only just been starting out or doing things in a different way, just to see your enthusiasm across all of that. So, yeah, I really appreciate it.
If anyone has any questions around content creation or YouTube, let me know. I'm happy to help you out any way that I can. I love sharing information.
Brilliant stuff. Well, feel free to hang around in the chat, in Zoom and whatever. But yeah, for now, thank you so much indeed for joining us, and yeah, really appreciate your time.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I love you guys, and I love the Creative Amplifiers audience, and I love creative people. You know, you're my peeps.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, amazing.
Follow that.
Indeed, exactly. Master Matt, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And George obviously really enjoying all of that as well. So, incredible. So I've just learned so much in terms of just what is possible. And yeah, I just need to work harder and find some more hours in the day. But that's just me.
That's everybody, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, for Matt,
I think that's
don't know where he finds the time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Anyway, Matt very kindly said that he would he'd better support people in share and answer some questions. So if you want to find out more about Matt, here are some places for you to go and check that out. And I'm sure he'll drop anything in links in the comments and everything as well if there's anything extra that he wants to do. So yeah, really appreciate that coming on. And so, Neil, who do we have as our next guest?
All right. Well, our next guest is Marty Chan. He's an entertainer, an author, children's book writer, all kinds of wonderful stuff. And Marty has an amazing setup using green screen, all kinds of tricks in his shows and when he produces his videos. So I'm very, very excited to be talking to Marty in a couple of weeks' time to dig into how he got started and show us some of the things that he does. And I know he was recently on your show as well, Mark, and I just find that fascinating, the types of things that he does live and also in the recorded world. So yeah, looking forward to seeing Marty.
Yeah, it is amazing, and he's an author but does lots of virtual school visits, and yeah, like I say, the interest in the way he goes about it is frighteningly brilliant and easy looking, but we're looking to see behind the scenes, because I'm sure there is more like that in there as well. So
looking forward to that.
Indeed, yeah. Okay, so our creator showcase for this week is
Okie dokie. Well, keeping with the creative theme of the show, this week's Creator Showcase is Keisha. Her YouTube channel is dedicated to creating a community centered around DIY, decoration, arts and crafts, and embracing the journey of being 40 plus. Oh, we can all appreciate that. It was wonderful to catch up with Keisha during Creator Camp, and we wish Keisha all the best with her renewed focus on streaming, because she's been doing more streaming and video content over the last few weeks. So yeah, go and check her out, and her YouTube channel is right there.
So dare we ask
It
in
was
the
a lot
chat?
of fun at camp.
So I was just going to say, do we dare ask in the chat if there's anyone less than 40, or are we all just at the other side of this thing?
Oh dear. We need to put a straw poll. We'll do that at some point.
Can of work. Well, yes, that's a good idea. We'll have that as an extra
worms.
thing that we can do.
As long as it's anonymous.
Yes. Well, let's leave that rabbit hole, shall we, just for the moment. So,
Please.
George, if you're ready, if your internet's not been cut off, if you're able to give people a chance, let's do a bit of this. Okay then, so question number one, as always, put A, B, C or D in the chat, or you can also put the whole answer in if that's better for you. But the question is, which of the following is not a type of wood? Mahogany, oak, bamboo or maple? That's A, mahogany, B, oak, C, bamboo, D, maple. Fastest fingers first. Tell us what you think. I'm not sure I would have got this right straight off the bat, but we have it on good authority from someone that we do know what's going on. We'll see. Oh,
That's
dear.
that
Might that
person
be?
called that nice GPT guy. He's
Yeah.
wonderful. Or is it a
Chad.
she? Who knows?
Who knows?
Chad GPT.
Chad.
There you go.
Chad.
There we go. Indeed. So we have a few answers in here. Brandy J. Let's see. George is so keen that he's answered twice. It's come through.
Just to be sure.
just to make sure. So the answer is, of course. Very good indeed. Congratulations. It was indeed that, and I think, George, you were the first person to do it. So congratulations. And not only has he got it right, but he's given us a little bit of background and information as well. Thinks that bamboo is a reed stroke grass. I think actually that's what I read as well. So bonus points, or we're just going to give you the 1 million that you have so far in this season just to go. But thank you, George.
I don't think he needs any help with extra points, let's be honest, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes from there. Okay. Ready, everybody? Question number 2.
All right. Which of the following audio-related acronyms is incorrect? MIDI, Musical Instrument Digital Interface, A, B, MP3 Moving Picture 3, C, WAV Waveform Audio File Format, or D, EQ Equalizer? A, B, C, or D? Let's see what the answer is here for you audiophiles.
I'm glad you took that because I can't even read my
I was struggling.
Heaven knows what I would have said.
I was looking down at my teleprompter because my varifocals are down.
It
He's
looks like MIDI magical instrument.
you could say that if you want. It's just magical. It's magical. It depends who's playing. It could be terrible. It could be anything but magical, but there you go. All right.
So does Marcus have a bit more power now?
Oh yeah, he does. But Marcus could basically just time out George, so he can't answer. Oh, Marcus.
I mean, not
See,
the way we
with
do this,
power.
but we'll have our week 1 catch up and assessment and see how the moderating's going, and see if George suddenly stops there winning, we may know there's something.
Oh, Marcus, you've
behind the scenes.
changed. We give you a little bit of power, and it all goes to your head.
Anyway, the actual answer was. It was B, the
That's right.
MP3. And George, you were indeed right. Indeed, lots of people being right. But actually, the first person was... It was Matt. So, congratulations. MP3 is the wrong answer. Well done. We will give you that one. There's a little bit of... to-y and fro-y going on in here.
Wow.
I know,
Wow,
I know.
oof.
Look at this.
Goodness me.
There's a
My
lot of
heavens.
stuff going on.
Wow.
All right, I have to think my moderation choices now. So it's all gone horribly wrong.
Exactly. The list was long and wide, but then here we go. Lisa, are you
The
ready?
moderator was supposed to help with
Honey,
this.
I don't know if I'm ready. Ready for all this.
There we go.
And who did the last Ecamm live demo? Was it A, Jeremy Hubble, B, Daniel Chi, C, Neil, who's this guy? Neil who?
Fairy Monday.
And then D, Fairmonde, and then D, Mary Lou Mandel. I don't know that
I've been
Neil
called
guy.
worse, Mark. So thanks.
I'm not actually sure how often I've said your last name. That's the other funny thing as well. I have to take it.
Take it. I'll take that pronunciation. It's not the worst one I've heard.
No, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Now
the
you've got that
worst?
real
What's the
sort of
worst?
European flavour from living in the mainland. You're kind of able to do that.
I had a letter addressed to me once called Neil Farmer's-Welly, so I'm not sure what that was going on about. But
Interesting.
That's how it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
no idea.
Let's leave that.
Anyway,
Exactly.
yeah.
So we
right, who's-
have the correct answer, if you didn't know, was A, Jeremy. So sadly, Sorry about that, Matt, but actually it wasn't Daniel. Do we have a few answers? We do indeed. That was correct as well. But I think the first person for it to be correct was, of course,
King George.
Well done. Congratulations indeed.
King reigns supreme.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And Jaden, yes, well done. You were indeed correct as well. I don't think we had any wrong answers in that one, apart from Matt, but as he said, he's there. No, I'm not sure that's true. That's, well, yes, the Zoom is before the latency of YouTube, but we need to maybe, that's a good point, Marcus. We need to maybe rethink that slightly, or maybe you can add in a slight delay to allow for the differences those things are coming through. I don't know, so we will see.
But Marcus, Matt isn't not coming through on Zoom. He's actually coming through on the YouTube channel, because I can see the Zoom chat here, and he's not cheating. Don't worry.
Right.
So let's not get into conflict on our first Moderator's Day.
Yeah, really.
It's all fun and games
Feisty out there, isn't it? It's all
I
feisty.
know. You know what? Bring the hamster on just to lighten the mood.
Yeah, I think we need to just
We need a hamster.
We need an
moment.
intermission or.
Just let me know how long you need this to go on for, and I'll bring us back.
Okay, it's good now.
And started.
It's all good. We're all good.
Exactly. I think we're good. I think we're fine. Indeed. Exactly. Congratulations on the right answer, even if George still managed to get in there first. Oh, brilliant. Oh, this is good. This is, it's all about engagement. It's all about people having fun. I'm not sure what this is, the version of virtual fisticuffs, but anyway, we can look into what that is and try not to get banned on the interwebs for doing that as well. Oh, brilliant stuff. Okay. So Marcus, evaluation meeting. Yep. It'll just be after every show, or maybe after every few minutes of the show, we'll take a little time out and put the hamster back, and we can catch up quickly and go through.
Talk amongst ourselves. Oh dear.
The hamster audio's in stereo. There you are. That's Neil's doing. He's
That's the quality of the show that you're on. Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of which, is that yin and yang? I think. Yeah, brilliant.
Wow.
So Lisa, you're on the left there. Your picture. Take us into what this is and why we're sharing it.
Well, I don't have that set up anymore. That was talking about iterations. That was a bit ago. But I still have my Rodecaster Pro, my white one over there. I still have my teleprompter. But some other things are different now.
What about yours, Neil?
That's all I got.
So this is pretty much how it looks at the moment. I'm probably going to add another monitor because you need more than 4. So this is the setup that I use to make my do the live streams, what you're seeing right now, my YouTube content as well, and the big sort of monitor in the middle next to the 2 speakers, because I also play music and play piano and bits and pieces. That's sort of my place for doing all the video editing, Logic Pro workflows, and Matt, I'm with you with audio production. It can be quite interesting. I was a Cubase user for many years when it first came out, and now switched over to Logic, but it's interesting. So yeah, that's my setup at the moment. There's not really too much else going on there. The little orange light at the back is from Ecamm when we got the nice little light as part of our kit. So that's now firmly in my studio setup, and it's really cool to have a little bit of an accent or practical light there. So yeah, that's my setup as it stands today.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and the picture that I shared is I did some podcast training in London during last week, and a lot of people, one of the things I posted on social was the fact that a lot of people turn up thinking it's going to be sort of death by PowerPoint, as it were, but it's a very hands-on, very practical session. And a lot of this kit apart from the Rode Lav mic, actually I bought when I first started back in 2016. So those are ATR 2100s, the original ones of those. A Zoom H5, which I use a lot when I'm out and about for recordings as well, and even use here as an interface. So yeah, just take it in, and there's lots of hands-on recording, talking about the mic technique, talking about the audio editing, and just sort of basically take everyone from start to finish about creating a podcast. And it's always a very interesting and fun day. So yeah, we thought we'd share that today in our merch on the perch. And as always, Neil, why don't you tell people what else they can do and how they can get involved?
Well, yeah, we want not only just to see the Ecamm merch now, as we've shown our studio setups, it's really good to see some behind the scenes, what people are doing and what kit are they using. Matt's shared some of his sort of evolution of studio build over the years. So we'll be really interested for you to share how you have your YouTube setups, whether you're doing your live streams, recorded, Zoom calls, whatever it might be, heaven forbid, just being on Zoom. But send us your photographs of your environment, show us how you create your content, and also if you've got any of the Ecamm merch in places that you take it with you, send us a photograph of that as well. So you can send that in to us via the creativeamplifiers.live site, or click on the QR code to get the link as well. The same place you can nominate yourself or others to be a guest on our show. We're fully booked up now until sort of the middle of January, but there are places open for you to become a guest on our show. And at the end of the day, this is all about you. We want to showcase the wonderful Ecamm family, the creators of YouTube and everything that you do. So tell us about you and your show. Come on the show like Matt's done tonight. Tell us all about your YouTube journey, and we can all learn from each other and get some insights along the way. So creativeamplifiers.live, do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Well, you may regret it, but yeah, just do it.
Exactly. And we should also say, if you happen to have any Creative Amplifiers merch, of which there'll be more available very soon, you get double points. And
Double points.
which is double nothing, which no one's getting at the moment. Very nice mug. I think you can see, yes, you can see mine over my, I was right the first time.
Mine's
that
over there
side.
too. You can't see mine, but yeah.
Hanging myself.
Merch.
Yes,
Exactly. I can never get that right.
Yeah. So
Matt's an
do
expert on that. It's like left, right. I've no idea.
All of those things. Brilliant stuff. Well, this has been a lot of fun. A big thank you to Matt for taking part. Thank you everyone who's been in the chat. Really appreciate all the fun and all the comments and just sort of getting involved with the show. It really does make what we do worthwhile, and it's so great to be able to share all these things with us. Should we mention our special show in the middle of December? Just to give them a little heads up that that's coming the week after, or the show after the Marty Chan's coming on. So it's going to be festive. It's going to be full of hats. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lots of things that we haven't produced yet as a run of show, but we're going to be there. Don't worry about that. We'll make sure that all comes through. But we also talked about one of the things we really liked about the end of season 1 was when we had people coming in into Zoom, sharing a bit of time in Zoom, also being able to come onto the show and just sort of share the fun that goes with it. So if you'd like to do that, do let us know. Maybe go to, what's the best thing to do? Drop us on social or send us an email. Go to creativeamplifiers.live. Let us know that you'd like to be involved. We'll give you the Zoom link so you can come into the Zoom and be part of that. But also we can bring people on throughout the show, have a big group party going on as well. Show us your festive setups. Maybe you can only come if you've got a hat or a Santa outfit or whatever it happens to be that you need to do. Set of reindeer antlers, I don't know, whatever it is that Lisa's going to be wearing. Was it some kind of headgear? Anyway, there's a whole thing that's going to be going on, but let us know because we want you to be involved and we want to have a nice time. That's going to be, is it December the 16th? It's the Monday of that week of December.
It is
so
the 16th.
that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Amazing. Well, we will say goodnight from here in the UK as we're now heading towards 11 p.m. Thank you everyone for watching. Neil's much the same. Lisa, you'll just lunchtime after something, so we'll let you get in.
It's almost 3, so I'm
late
in that
lunch.
in-between period.
Exactly.
Late lunch.
Indeed. So wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching. If you're on the replay, we really appreciate you checking us out as well. Do share with everyone. Let's keep the fun going, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks' time. See you later.